Good evening. It is the third day of July 2021. And the last 2 days it has been uh, raining and quite cool. The temperature being around 15 degrees Celsius, which was essentially we've gone from the roaster oven to the refrigerator, with it pretty rapidly. They're not sure how long this cool spell will last, but it probably won't last that long. Well, anyways, I'm doing okay. I've been doing some house chores. That some vacuuming. Because I have to keep vacuuming up. Uh, that crap that both my pet guinea pigs, Scurry and Scratch, taken like dump out of their cage, onto the living room carpet that I cannot help but track everywhere. The way I walk using my folding walker frame or my forearm crutches. Sorry about that. I'm not tired, but just that I'm doing okay. That today I have been watching a lot of cartoons today. Cartoon watching. And I've just watched on online television, a old documentary about Germany's Nazi Germany's super weapons development. Hello, Gina. It's been a very long time. That I'm surprised you remember me from the class of 1976. Let me pull out my yearbook. I've got it right here. Come on, where are you? Yeah, that I was it. Gina Oliveira. Pendergast, Palermo, O'Keefe. Oh, hi, Gina. Yes. I remember you. Well, I'm still here, was it? But, with me having the a milder form of cerebral palsy, the same physical disability that our classmate Paul Stowell has. Was it? Of course, you remember, Gina, the classmate Paul Stowell was with. Paul Stowell was the leg braces and crutches boy in our class, and that my form of cerebral palsy, is a milder form of it, but I have gone through a mobility crash, in my late 40s, and by the time I was age 50, I needed to start using walking aids, and I do, that's so that uh, I no longer walk any distance my without my walking aids. I've got a folding a folding walker over here. I've got two pairs of forearm crutches behind me. Is it that I use? That I can do across. I can go across the room. Without without crutches or anything. But I also have a wheelchair manual wheelchair that I just use if I get too tired. That I can wheel myself around my great room here at the. Of course, with Gina, I live in Derry now, or actually I lived back in Derry because from age 2 to age 8, Gina, I used to at the live at the Macmillan's Trailer Park on Wyndham Depot Road in Derry. Then my parents moved me and my late younger brother Nate to Derry, to Salem. I went to was at the Foss School. The last couple of months was it April, May, June, 2.5 months with it to the at the Foss School. My third grade. Then I went to the William T. Barron School when it was a brand new school. Fourth and fifth grade. Then of course with it. Then of course the Woodbury for sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. Then Salem High. Then was it back in 2018? My late younger brother Nate and I was it. We we moved back to was it Derry, New Hampshire, and I live was it not very. I live across the road, diagonally across the road from the Robert Frost farm. I'm here on Route 28. That I am still in contact with the classmates like Rick Buster on on Facebook. I have seen Paul Stoll several years ago. That where before when I was living in Derry, and I've also seen Sandy Meader. She didn't graduate. No, she dropped out. But she married Pete Jaskell, another Salem High classmate. I guess she lives here in Derry. Oh, Donna Shakrela. Well, I'm going to be going to the. There's going to be Gina on August 14th. There's going to be a class reunion in Salem, class 76. I don't know the exact details, but I'm going to find it out. I'm also with it. I've heard from. Oh, I go to church with I go to ch- I go to church with Steve Williams's older brother. Is it? Uh, I go to the First Parish Congregational Church here in Derry. You know that Steve Williams's older brother was it? Uh, older brother was it goes to church with me. That other people I've been in contact with. Oh, in the last year, classmate Mark Gilmet has passed away. Was it in contact with Raymond Getchell. I do know the Graziani sisters. That. Did you know that the Graziani sisters, their dad graduated? Their dad graduated. Their dad, Arthur Graziani, graduated with my father on June 15th, 1957, from Wentworth Institute down in Boston. Yes, the Graziani sisters' dad was a Wentworth Institute grad. So was my dad. And I'm a Wentworth Institute graduate. Of course, we know that Mike Hagan was it. Mike Hagan did himself in with dope at the age of 24. Yeah, that. Uh, I do know Michelle Gusty. She is living in West Virginia. And of course, I've heard from Pat Corey. He's still around. Yeah, that's right. With it, Mike Hagan did himself in with a dope overdose. You know, at age 24. Oh, wait a minute. I think I've got it in here. Well, at least I hope I do. Oh, I had a picture of our last reunion back in 2016. Then let's see. Dave Tiller lives in Nashua. Do you remember Bob Glendy? His younger sister Debbie lives in Salem, and of course she's a widow now. She and her late husband have a son, JJ, who has severe, who was born with severe autism. Yeah, yeah. That. Uh, oh, let me just flip my. Let me just flip for my Facebook for a second. I'm still recording. Well, I'm still with it. Let me just have a look at my Facebook page. As I said, yes, Gina, I'm on Facebook. I've been on Facebook since 2016. Oh, come on. There we go. Salem High School. Let me just put into the query. Come on. Salem High School class 1976. Oh, come on. Class of 76. Let me just click on it. The computers are funny, as it. I started working on computers, Gina, when I was like, in senior year in high school. Took the the high school computer class. Yeah, Barbara Rage, as it is, made a note at about on the 16th with it that it's going to be next viewing is going to be the 14th in Salem. Bob Arnfield's going to be there. Karen Jukit is going to be there. So isn't Diane Libby Maddox. Oh, yes, I'm in contact with Paul Lockhart. Paul Lockhart is down in Florida. Gary Mushin Gary Mushin's passed away. He passed away on December 28th in 2019. I didn't know that. Cindy Abate, was it Lawrence or was it, was it, I know her. I'm in contact with Barry Clark too via Facebook. Yeah. Of course, one thing I had to take and do was that yeah, the I did have to put into the last month or so. I put in into the Salem High School in memoriam for was it like the 1968 to like 1980 or 80 or 81 roughly. I had to put in an entry for my younger brother Nathaniel Edward Wood, the Salem High School class of 1981. My younger brother Nate passed away here at home, and my brother Nate was living with me for the last decade or so. That both of us still bachelors, and he passed away last year, and about 10 days after my birthday in March in 2020. He didn't die of COVID. He passed away from a massive heart attack brought on by it was brought on by was it my younger brother Nate being forced to ration his insulin as a late onset diabetic. Was it because his private insurer, was it would not pay for the would not pay for for his necessary insulin. And so was it they pulled the stunt of involuntarily euthanizing my brother during this pandemic, which I consider to be a hate crime. So, anyways, with it, Gina, I'm living by myself, with it, as best I can, with it. I still get around. I don't need to use a wheelchair ramp yet, because I can still walk. But I no longer drive a vehicle. Gina. That I still have my license, to drive, because I need the darn license, in order to continue to vote, because of all these stupid, Republican Party restrictive voter laws. I also no longer own a car. So here in my driveway at the Frost Residence Cooperative, mobile home park, on Route 28 between the Robert Frost Farm and the Clam Haven, that mom and pop fast food joint. That I have an empty driveway. I don't even. That said, I don't need a vehicle anymore. I had to make a choice. On my low SSDI disability, the disability income. That have the roof over my head or have a car. I made the choice with it, the roof over my head. And I'm barely staying afloat as Pillsbury Street. I know where Pillsbury Street is. I could walk to your place. That. That. Yeah, Pillsbury Street is not that far away. I can walk to it. Using my quad rollator walker frame. Yeah. Of course, one thing I do with it, I'm not idle here in Derry, that as being retired, that I'm active at the First Parish Congregational Church. I'm also I've been volunteering for Derry, New Hampshire's Community Public Access Cable TV channel since 2003. And I'm also involved with the Derry, New Hampshire Democratic Party Committee. And yes, last year I ran for New Hampshire State Representative, which was fun. First time I ever ran for office. Ran for public office. I lost, but at least 5,535 people voted for me. And I'm running again for New Hampshire State Representative next year. So was it, uh, and of course, was it, I really hated the living guts out of President Donald Trump. At least he's gone. I hope he drops dead before 2024. With all the junk food he's eating, he's gonna end up dead. Well, anyways, for the most part, I'm all I'm pretty happy here. As it uh, living here in Derry. I'm actually close. I'm actually close here in Derry, where I live. I'm only like 1.5 miles away from the. I'm only 1.5 miles away from the Parkland Medical Center Hospital, and I have all my. Let's see, my Gina, my primary care physician, Dr. Christy Eganoff, is here in Derry at the Derry Medical Center Family Practice Office. At 6 Senado Drive. Was it? Which during the summer in a pinch, that if I can't get a hold of the CART paratransit service, that I can hike up to, because I've got my next appointment at the with Dr. Reganoff for my yearly checkup coming up on the 13th this month, and that I'm with them every so often, with it several times a week, I walk up to the convenience store to get, bars of diet soda pop. That, or and I can also, with like spring, summer, and autumn, I can walk all the way up from my house here, with it at the top of the hill, the Robert Frost, the Frost Residence Cooperative. I could walk all the way to Schutt's Corner and back. Schutt's Corner is the intersection of 28, Wyndham Depot Road, and Kendall Pond Road here in Derry. And they got a Rite Aid pharmacy up there at Schutt's Corner. That's where I go get my medicine and my incontinence supplies. Yes, Gina. At my age, I'm wearing disposable diapers 24 hours a day. That, of course, back like 62 years ago. That I was wearing cloth diapers fastened with steel safety pins and a pair of plastic pants. Because nowadays they got disposable diapers for us grown-ups who can't hold it anymore. And of course, I still keep busy with some of my special interests with it. I'm still into Star Trek, just like I was in high school. I'm also into Japanese anime. I'm also into tinkering with electronics, my former career. Yes, as I said, graduate of Wentworth Institute, Associate in Engineering and Bachelor of Science, Electronic Engineering Technology, Gina. And, that I have had a career out in the real world, as an electronic engineering technician. Last job I ever had was working in the field of light industrial robotics. Was working in an engineering lab, the design development lab of a robot manufacturer. That I worked for. Last job I ever had, I worked for 5 doctorate level engineers. Was it prototyping? Was it complex robotic machinery? I still tinker. I'm also still interested in backyard astronomy, and I still have the telescope that my mom and dad got me for Christmas back in 1974. That next was it clear night. That I'm going to take and I'm gonna next clear night. I'm gonna take and pull my telescope out, with put it on the put it on my front deck. And do some observation of star clusters. Oh, I do play guitar. Primarily, was it liturgical? Was it primarily liturgical music for the church? I do that. That, and and yes, you're probably wondering if I got pets. Yes, Gina, I have 2 pet guinea pigs, and I have their cage sitting at the end of the with it kitchen countertop. With it here. Yes, Gina, I have a full life, and with it, with it, really, with it, my mom, with it, my mom, all her adult life, she was profoundly mentally ill, and she took out her mental illness on me and my late brother Nate. But in the end, her problems did not destroy me. She just was it went off the deep end into the rabbit hole and never came out. And she never got treatment for she my own mom, Gina, never got proper treatment for with her mental illness issues. That uh, that and that it's for me. It's really good to be alive. That the world outside may suck like hell. That but that it's all in the it's all in your attitude toward it. That you can't let the hate filled little ignorant little shitheads take it. That pound you down, because in the end, was it they're gonna lose. I do know Lorraine Ford. I guess she's down in New Jersey. Not sure if you remember her. Well, she's not. She's Lorraine Ford Demand. Demand. Yeah, she's down in New Jersey now. That I'm just looking at the seeing on high school classmate stuff on Facebook. Let me just switch over to my own page. That I'm actually doing all this on my laptop computer. My laptop computer is a Hewlett Packard 15, but it's kind of old now. But I'm trying to I'm trying to with it baby it to keep it running for as long as possible. Because I'm not made out of money. That I don't have any life savings, Gina. Because it's with it. I had to use my life savings to take and yeah, yeah. Well, it's one thing I've been doing. That here at home. That the only thing I don't have cable TV. Gina. I just have was uh, the internet. I don't know how where you could get another copy of our yearbook, Gina. But I know I've got mine, and I'm gonna be taking it to bringing it to the reunion on August 14th. I gotta find out where it's gonna be, where and when. Because the last was it, uh, the last was it class reunion. We had it at the function room at I can't remember what the place is. Was it? It was on. It was on. It was on Route 111. It was between the. It was just. It was just east of the. Oh, I'm sorry. Whether I can't describe it. That even though I'm a walking encyclopedia. Yeah, but it was at a function room. This year, I'm not sure where they're gonna hold the reunion. Probably it's gonna be at somebody's. It's probably gonna be at one of our classmates' houses. Down in Salem, who still lived, who's still living in Salem. I know, I'm terrible, Gina. I should have left my pants on with it, but Yes, I still love teddy bears. That I have this boy to take and keep me company. Uh, I'm still single. I never. I have dated a couple times. With it over the several times over the decade, but it's like there were like only one night stands. So, well, anyways, I'm happy, Tina, that you was it uh, that you've reached out and contacted me. That I got to cut this live live stream short. Because I want to get back to uh, watching some science documentaries. Yes, I still watch Nova. That PBS's Nova every week. I also watch BBC Horizon. I also watch online the BBC flagship science series, The Sky at Night, about astronomy. That show's been going on. That show's been actually on the air since before we were born. Yes, Jane, let's keep in touch. Well, anyways, I'll sign off. And yes, I still know the Vulcan salute from Star Trek. Peace and long life. Live long and prosper. Well, bye.